Hi everybody, how are you? This is Nancy the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Friday, July 19th. So, I was getting somewhat organized, which I know scares some people. And I have been wanting to go through my WIPs and see if I wanted to put some of them away for a while. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And I know there's a couple things that I have in my project bags that I haven't even started yet. So does that tell me that I'm not meant to start them now? They're kitted, but I'm not meant to start them now. There might even be a couple in there that I want a UFO. So, with that being said, I thought I'd go through them with you and, maybe come to some decisions. I have a Longaberger laundry basket full of project bags. I would lift it up, but yeah. Okay. So, some of these you just saw in my last video. Some of them I've actually worked on since the last video. So, why not? Right? So here we go. First one I'm going to pull out is In Full Glory from the Sweet Land of Liberty book by Bluebird. It looks like, it's supposed to look like this when I'm done. Or something similar. There we go. Get rid of the glare. Wonder if I move my light. That's a little bit better. And I do apologize. I am working on my laptop because we had a little tripod accident. Abby accidentally stepped on one of the legs and cracked it, so we have to see if it's repairable. Yes. So right now this one's living in my peanuts bag, and I am using a color and cotton conversion that I pulled. So there it is. And I do apologize for it being in the hoop, but I was working on it last night and I don't want to pull it out. So since you saw it last, I started working on the little bit of a border. And right up here is the corner. So I have to turn the corner and come back around. So there you go. And yes, while I'm working on a project, I put the needle up in the salvage because I know it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to be in there that long. So that's In Full Glory. I do intend to finish this one. It should not take that long. Most likely it will be put into a pillow. I've never done a stand-up. Who knows? Maybe I'll get brave. Right? Who knows? So, and I'm going to apologize up front for the zipping and the unzipping because that's just the way it works. All right? The next one I'm going to show you is Lady of the Flag. I am going to be honest. I have not touched this in a while. Part of the reason was my knee recovery. I have it in my roll-a-frame bars. That's as far as I've gotten. If you are familiar with Lady of the Flag, this is an out-of-print chart from Mirabilia. It was released right after 9/11. So those empty spaces you see are where the Krynic and the beads go. I love this. Don't get me wrong. And I'm doing it on 36 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. I was doing it on my with my K's creation stand. So I'm right-handed, so I had it coming off the left side, and I had it clamped here, and it was doing, you know what I mean? It was difficult to get where I wanted. So then I had the bright idea, well, let's clamp it here. So I put a piece of batting there so that the clamp didn't make, marks on my fabric. And I like it. But maneuvering the stand while I was recovering was a pain in the butt. So I think maybe after school starts and Eddie goes back to school, my grandson, that I will pull this back out and I will have a dedicated day for it. I know it's like Mirror Monday or whatever. But, you know, I can call it Flag Friday, whatever I want to call it. She will come back out. So I keep it in this wonderful vintage Blue's Clues pillowcase that belonged to my older daughter. Yes. All right, the next WIP on the go is Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I just showed you this the other day. It looks like this. This is a SAL I am hosting, so we are breaking each block into fourths and doing 1/4 a month. The big block will be divided into eighths. So the idea is that this stretch from Leap Day 2024 to Leap Day 2028. I am loving this, and I am honestly loving the fact that we're breaking it down. I did work a little bit more on this since I saw you the other day. So right now I am done with half the block. So theoretically, I am a month ahead. My concern right now is I may have counted wrong up here. So I'm going to have, if I did, I'm just going to have to snip a thread and pull back and then tuck, which I've done before. I'm not worried about it. So I think I have 3 more bluefish here. I have to do their eyes, which are done in black. So when I pull out a black thread to work on the border of the block, I'll do that. There's a fish up here. There's an eel here. There's a coral here. And then, of course, I have to do the black border of the block. And then there's also, if you look carefully, there's also a blue border. A blue border. A blue border. So I love the crab. I think he's cute. I almost changed him to red for Sebastian in Little Mermaid, but I don't know. There's something, I can't bring myself to do that. I just feel like I need to respect the artist's wishes. Now, am I saying I've never chosen a different fabric? Yes, because, you know, fabric dyeing changes. And we all know that thread dye lots change, so who knows? I have changed threads to color and cotton. But, you know, I don't know. I'm sort of wishy-washy on that. The next one is Ann Kirby. This one has not been touched since the other day. This is a SAL I'm doing with Emily C. I have all the called for threads except 2 of them, so I substituted some color and cotton. Very simple color palette. And like I said, I have not touched this one since I saw you. So there's that. I like working on the border because it's mindless. 99% mindless. So, you know, that's a definite keeper. Everything I've shown you so far is a definite keeper. All right, here's the portfolio, my first portfolio I ever made. It was like a combination of Elizabeth Ink and Stitch, and there's a gal that sells patterns on Etsy. So it was a combination of them, you know, an experiment. This is the folder that holds all of my thread milk designs. I am not in the middle of one right now. I do call this a WIP because my goal is to stitch all the ones, at least all the ones from where I have lived and where I have visited. Would I like to do all 50 of them? Yes. So the last one I did was Vermont. And I have done Ohio. I'm doing the abbreviations for the states where I lived in gold. And I've done PA. So I don't know what the next one will be. but, or maybe I do. Nope, I don't. So this is the inside of my portfolio. I like it. It's nice for a small project. I mean, it's packed. Putting in the magnet was tricky, but I like it. All right, what's next? I have no idea what this is. It's a joy. It's an adventure. It is Map of Hawk Run Hollow. What better bag to put that in than like a travel bag, right? There you go. This is one I made. I also made one for Chris the Camping Stitcher. I believe it was for her birthday last year. Map of Hawk Run Hollow looks like this. I am using the DMC conversion that was provided. I did not grab the silks. And I know that, you know, it's charted with NPI, but I know that Vicki Clayton has a conversion. I've heard good things about her silks. I have not touched this one in a while. I really need to bring it back out. I'm planning on going to the Grace Notes retreat in Allentown in a couple of weeks. So who knows? Maybe this one will go with me so I can work on the bird. Ow. But that's as far as I am. I have my Lucy Psychiatrist needle minder. I do like it. And I'm sorry I'm not telling you what these fabrics are because I don't remember what all of them are. I just, you know, some of these were started before I started writing things down. That's part of my disorderliness because I can and I will and I do. Lots of state of being verbs, right? Remember your state of being verbs? Is, am, are, was, were, be, being, been, have, has, had, do, does, did, may, might, must, can, could, shall, should, will, would. There you go. Okie doke. What is this? Oh, I haven't started that one yet. Okie doke. This is, and I keep it in this funky Halloween bag that I got from Dot Dot Goose, simply because that's a bag I had. You know, I'm not always a matchy-matchy person, right? So this is One Nation, and I know a lot of people are working on this one. Now, when I got back into cross-stitch during the ever-dreaded pandemic, as soon as we could get out and move about, my husband and I took a weekend and went down to Virginia, down 81, and there is a shop in Waynesboro called Cross Stitch Station, and I saw this and I decided to get it. And this was at a time when I just pulled everything that the artist said. So I do know that this is on 28 count ale from Picture This Plus. If I were to start this today, I would start it on something with a larger number count and make it smaller because this thing's going to be huge. So it calls for all classic color works. You can see that I've pretty much done the blue and now I'm on the red and white stripes. So this is Antique Lace and Cupid. Okay, so the first thing I tackled, I had always been a center starter, and this is the first thing I did with a upper left. See, I have to do that. Upper left start. So I got the star field done, and I started working on Georgia. I don't know why I started with Georgia, but there we go. The star field wasn't difficult to do because once you had the rhythm, you just kept going. I do have to make sure I remember that when I work on this, I pick up 2 threads, because this is a 2 threads over 2 on 28 count. So whenever I get this done, that's a big whenever, it will most likely, it will be framed professionally, and it will hang over the fireplace. We do not use the fireplace, so over the mantle. So that's a keeper. That one I haven't started yet either, but I will. This is in my Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is on Prudence by Plum Street. I love this. It has a pretty soft purpley border. I know there is a Sal out there with the 2-bay stitchers. This is being done on 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. It was a fabric that I had. These are the colors. This is another one of those borders that once you get started, you just go. And I had started up in the corner and then decided I was going to work on the border. I have gone across the top, down the side, and that's as far as I got. So that's a keeper. Do any of you track like the days that you work on something, like on a calendar? I mean, not a book of days, but like if you have the opportunity to work on more than one project in one day. I know there's I think it's the Nap Time Stitcher that has a paper that you can do that. I'm just curious to see like how many days you put in a month for each project. I don't know. All right, this is the Equality Sampler. This is on Vintage Homespun by R&R. It's 36 count. This is a, I'm doing this with Stitching Sandy from Stitching Sandy, Jennifer and Nancy from the Bougie Stitchers, and anybody else that, you know, hopped on board. So I keep this in a Halloween bag that I made, again, just because I had a Halloween bag and I grabbed it. So there are a couple of places where I had to use, I'm using the called for colors, but on a couple of them I had to use the DMC instead of the fancy floss, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so this is what it looks like if you're not familiar with it. I believe that's called a Rhode Island sampler because of the wide, I guess that's a border? I don't know. The words are done over 1. Okay? So the words are done over 1. All the words are done over 1. Yes. This is my second attempt at over 1 because my first attempt is Anton Ufendel, and I did not do well with over 1 on her. I don't know if it was the fabric. I don't know if it was using that floss, but anyway. So here's the colors. There we go. This is how far I am. I know that Jenny is a lot farther. I have not seen Sandy's. I have not pulled this out in a while. I need to do that. So Jen, I am nowhere near where you are. So yeah, it's not a competition, right? There we go. I love the strawberries. They make me smile. Are they strawberries or are they raspberries? I don't know. They're red. All right. If I don't pack these up, then I will mess up. All right. In my cow bag, farm animal bag, cow bag, whatever that I made, this is a stitch along that I'm doing with Celeste at Celeste Creates and Kara from Pink Daisy Stitch. This is being done on Hemingway, 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax. Here are the colors. I love that red. It's 816, DMC 816. This is Oh Sweet Humility, Eliza Townsend's work, 1835, from Cross Stitch Antiques, Kathleen Littleton. I haven't touched this one in a while either, about a month or so. I think what I'm going to do when I go back and work on it is take that border all the way around. But that's as far as I've gotten. I think the border is really, really interesting. I mean, once you get the border path, there are 3 colors in the border. And once you get the border path, it's just a matter of following it with the other 2 colors. I just keep reminding myself to make sure you have the right page of the pattern so I don't mess up the flower colors like I did on Ann Tong. So, again, Oh Sweet Humility. If anybody has this and you want to jump on, feel free. We're not doing any assignments or breaking it down or anything like that. You know, it's another one of those beautiful start-alongs that we do. So, I have no idea how far the other 2 girls are. Alright, that one I haven't started yet. Okay, here's Anne in my Barbara John's kitty corn bag. That's what it's called. Kitty corn. That I picked up from her at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat. This is being done on Evertote's parchment, 36 count, with the called for DMC. So here we go. I wish there was a way not to stuff the threads in a bag and they get all bleh. But, you know. So this is what Anne looks like. I did show this a couple floss tubes ago, or maybe the last one. I don't remember. You can see that these motifs up here, these flowers, this little jiggy wad, these things. Yeah, jiggy wad's a technical term. Like nubbies on the vine. These 2 things and this are over 1. The first one I ever did over 1 was this, and I started using 2 strands and it was just not working. So I did the 10 stitch and it filled in really nice. But like I said the last time, when I was doing the stems on the flowers, I did them full crosses because they just didn't look right as 10 stitch. So I think I worked on Anne a little bit after we last saw her. And I was able to take the needle off my needle minder. I have my Charlie Brown needle minder. Charlie Brown and Snoopy. I think these things are made with Shrinky Dink stuff. Does anybody make these and know? I don't know, but these are cool. I guess you start with a picture and somehow print it on the Shrinky Dink stuff and then shrink it. I don't know. I'd like to figure that out. But anyway. So here we are. I have the border all the way around, the border vine. And so I think the last time I saw you, I had maybe down to here done. And you should have seen me. I was checking, triple checking, double checking, quadruple checking to make sure I was on the right page so that that flower ended up being the right colors. And I also figured out I had to go back and do the little leaves around this flower. Now, I am going to bare my soul because I got so into doing the leaves, these leaves, which is one color green. These leaves are one color green, the vine around is one color green, and the nubbies are one color green. Well, Nancy got so into using this color, I just started doing the nubbies in the same color. Again, I am not ripping it out because you know what? Honestly, I can't tell the difference. So if the cross stitch police want to come and give me grief, they have way too much time on their hands. I have not cut this yet because I want to make sure that everything's, you know, cool, which everything should be because I do have the border vine done, but I don't know. I've gotten so used to having a bed sheet that why not? Now, if I'm going too fast, I know how long WIP parades can be. If I'm going too fast and you have questions, please let me know. You can either comment down below or drop me an email. Okay, this is Sweetland by Teresa Kogut. I started this July 4th in 2023. It is done on 36 count spilled coffee by XJew Designs. I think this was a piece I had. And I keep it in my beautiful Como Stitches bag. This is one of those, I had never heard of Jess and Como Stitches till I went to StitchCon in 2023. And you know, when you're done stitching and you go up to your room and you start looking at Etsy and you're like, ooh, and you buy something. So, it was at home by the time I got home. So, this is Sweetland. I love it. Love it, love it. I am doing the whole thing. Now, I know that there are some people who decided to like cut off that bottom part and just do the eagle part, but I think it all goes together because you have the date, the year, you know, underneath. So I have not gotten too far on this. There's my Linus floss bling. Linus is my favorite because he loves blankies. Yes. And that's as far as I am. Lots of red, white, and blue, right? Right. So it's going, you know, it'll take time. And I'll tell you about my plans later. Somebody remind me that I need to tell you about my plan. That ought to be good, right? You tell me after I've done this. And yeah, so what am I going to do? I'm going to get a pen. Brought home all my teacher Flair pens. And all right, so I wrote that down. Now I just have to remember to look at it. All right, what is this? This is in my Kentucky bag. My family's from Kentucky. Dates back to a while. This is Plum Street, Live on Little. Done on 36 count sand dollar by Be Stitch Me. This was my StitchCon start. Yes. And that's about as far as it went. So there's my colors. Using the called for, I have my Marcy, if you know Marcy, from Charlie Brown, that I made. Live on Little is a big girl. Now, if you watched Carol Saltbox, I just picked hers up the other day. Be very careful because she noticed that the die lot for DMC 926 and 927, maybe it was 927. Anyway, one of them has changed drastically. Okay. So this is Live on Little. I know that Nisi Stitches was working on this. Chris the Camping Stitcher has finished it, and I believe it's framed. I will be doing the whole thing. I won't be making any changes. But you know what? To be honest, I don't think I have worked on this since StitchCon. So that's been over a year. And Charlie Brown is laughing at me. So again, I will probably, I've never been one to start with the border, but I can see the benefits of that. You know, I did it on Antong, and I want to try and do it on Prudence, and go back and do it on the Sweet Humility Sampler. You know, it makes sense to me because, you know, what if you do it page by page and you screw up? Then you have a problem. Do you rip it out or do you fudge it? Alright, this is Isabella Jackson by the Scarlet House in my orange witchy bag from Dot Goose. This was another one of the first ones I bought at Cross Stitch Station. I loved it. I am doing it on 36 count ale. Is that Picture This Plus? I don't know. There's my colors. All the called for DMC. I have not worked on this much since we saw each other the last time. I might as well just hang on. Sorry for the crinkling, but I haven't even unwrapped this board yet. So there we go. Is that the back? You don't want to see the back. And no, I haven't ironed anything either. I don't want to iron in between because I don't want to run the risk of the hole shrinking. Alright. So this is one of those I'm doing the border as I go. It's a pretty repetitive border. I feel safe doing that. I also discovered when I started the words that the letters are over one except for the capitals. Yes. I can do over one now. 3 years ago, that would have been another story, for which we do not have time. Right? Right. Yes. All right. This is my Simple Gifts Courage. I hopped on this one to join Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She started this to celebrate her, I think it's 30 years clear of breast cancer. I have never dealt with cancer, nor has anybody in my family. So I went in and I looked at all the ribbons and I tried to decide what ribbon would best fit me. This is being done on 36 count Graveyard Mist by Lappin' Loops. Look at all these hoops I'm finding. So here we go. And Pam signed it for me at StitchCon last year. So I decided for mine, there's a lot of how do I want to say this? Mental illness, I guess is the word, because that's the ribbon. My mother was an alcoholic. Her father was an alcoholic. My sister was an alcoholic. My brother abused drugs. Needless to say, growing up in a dysfunctional household, my addiction was food and trying to take care of everything and everyone, which, meant that I had to be in charge. And that's part of being an adult child of an alcoholic. And when you can admit that and face that, you start giving yourself grace, which is where I am now. Now, am I perfect? No. I'll be the first to admit that I take an antidepressant because, between school and COVID and dealing with everything, I have to do this. And it made a world of change for me. It's a subject that we need to talk about. So the color for mental illness is green. So I'm using 2 different greens, which I'll show you in a minute. This is as far as I've gotten. This one might go to Allentown too, because it's nice, because it's monochromatic, sort of, kind of. You can see the lighter green down there on the heart. After I started this, I kind of wished I had used a green variegated, but such is life, right? So the 2 greens I'm using are 3347 and 3345. I have them on 2 Britches Get Stitches. Hi, Sam. Samantha, I think. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. It's been a while since I've seen you. You can see the 2 different greens. Natalie. Pretty sure it's Natalie. Anyway, my brain is shot. And I'm doing it, and I have my little floss bling that I created. It's a mom and daughter with a treadle sewing machine. One of my happiest memories of my mother is she taught me how to sew on her featherweight, which I have. And we made Barbie clothes, believe it or not. I made Barbie clothes. Now we're talking about in the 70s. Yeah, I made an outfit with pants and a vest with velveteen. Very 70s. Very 70s. In fact, I might just keep this one out to go to Allentown. Alright, this is one I have to decide. This is one of my bags that I made. It's Looney Tunes. This was a Teresa Kogut mystery from last year. Okay, so here's the called for. And I don't, oh yes I do. It is Simple Life. Okay. I could not tell you what I'm doing it on. Am I doing it on the called for? I have no idea. I'm not even done with this quarter of it. Okay? And I already made a mistake. There's a mistake with one of these B-skeps. So I have to make sure that I count everything off. I have to go over the top, come down, and make sure I count everything off something else. I like this. I do. But I never remember to pull it out. So here we are. Now, what's wrong with the B-skep? I think I made them too tall. I think there's only supposed to be 1 stitch underneath each one, and I did 2. I wish I was as skinny as that woman around the waist. I don't know. It would be very easy just to cut this off and call it quits. Because this wasn't even the first page. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, it is the first page. I have the first page done. What do you think? Should I keep going? I know people are going to say it's up to you because you have to decide if you like it. I like it. Do I love it? I haven't decided. I have not decided. The call for fabric was whatever you wanted, I guess. So I pulled out whatever I had. Oops, there's that. I don't know. I do not know. And, you know, some of these called fors are overdyeds. And, you know, I would hate to say, okay, if somebody wants to adopt this, then, yeah, but then you'd have to get your own floss. Because, you know, yeah. So that one is sitting on the fence. Okay, this one I haven't touched in a while either. I don't know why I started it, but I did just because I could. This is in a dot dot goose bag using Lori Holt fabric. I also have a thread bed for that, but I don't use thread beds. So this is Oh Joyous Day. Again, I love this. The border is supposed to be satin stitched. I tried satin stitching and I didn't like the way it looked. It was gappy. Does that make sense? So I don't know if I should have used 2 threads or what. So I just pulled the satin stitch and I started using just cross stitches. And I'm okay with that. It's my stitch, right? So that's as far as I've gotten. I don't think the cross stitch at the top looked that bad. Do you? The flower's not even done. This uses a combination of weeks and DMC. I think maybe because I didn't have all the weeks, because I have names written on the tags, and I also pulled a Color and Cotton Cilantro for number 987. So there's that. Oh, decisions. All right, this is this is like unwrapping presents, you know? This is in my Up bag. I love Up. I love Doug. He's my favorite. I made that. I also have one of these thread pouches from Starlight Stitching Co. Got a couple of those. Don't really use them that much. Alright, so this is Martha Evans. This is the birthday stitch for Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter that was reproduced by Tanya at the Scarlet House. This is my first venture into silks. I love the MPI silks. In fact, I love them so much I signed up for the Fat Quarter Shop Silk Club. Why? I don't know. This is as far as I've gotten. I have a rabbit head, a bird, 2 birds, a rabbit head, and I have no idea what that pink thing is. Is it a cat? I love the silks. They're soft. You know? Now, I keep my silks in floss away bags so they don't snag on anything. This is a keeper, you know, especially since, I mean, not just because of the investment, but it is a keeper. Yes. Yes. There we go. All right. This is, what is this? This is Hannah's Brownstone. by the Scarlet House. I just showed this a couple weeks ago. I'm doing it on a Witchelt Summer Khaki 36 count. I have no idea when I started it because that's before I wrote everything down. It is all Weeks Dye Works. I don't think I've worked on it since I showed you last. Maybe I did. I have no idea. There we go. I enjoyed working on that house, believe it or not. So, I keep it in a Lori Holt bag that I purchased from Goose. A lot of these were purchased before I started making my own. Yes. This is a bee bag that I bought from Black Cat X Stitchery. This is my Erin Elizabeth, A Type of Christmas, which I talked about a couple weeks ago. I love doing the words. What is that sticky thing? I have no idea. I love doing it, but again, it's not one that overly trips my trigger. And I think it's because I don't do a lot of just Christmas stitching. So again, do I rehome it? I don't know. I mean, I rehomed my other one. You know what I mean? I rehomed my other one. My other Christmas one. Which was, Christmas, was it Christmas Rules or whatever? Because I didn't like the fabric. And there's nothing, I love the design. I truly love the design. I just, I don't know. If I decide to rehome it, I will let you know. Alright, this one's in a Goose bag. It has little Christmas trucks because I like the Christmas trucks. So much so I went and got a Christmas truck ornament, which my grandson immediately said, "Oh, that's mine, Nana." This goes in the other bag. Hang on. Oh, Type of Christmas is being done on 32 count gray stone. I don't know whose that is. This is Mender and Maker by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. It is being done on 36 count Barb's Blend by R&R. This was a stitch along that a few of us started after the Jingle Ball 2 years ago, Jingle Ball 2022. So here we go. It's all DMC, I believe, except for, oh no, there's a couple Weeks Dye Works and a couple Classic Color Works. And I have not worked on this since we last saw it, so there you go. I'm about 2/3 done. Is that the back? No. I like it. It's going to get done. In fact, it should probably move to the top of the list so I can get it done. Maybe it'll go to Allentown. We'll put this down here with thingy. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh. Courage. This is my Ohio bag that I made. I was born in Ohio. I consider myself a Buckeye. These are my Prairie Schooler Santas. I've only ever finished one. I am in the middle of working on this one. Sorry about that. Do I know which one that is? Not off the top of my head. Looks like, oh, it's the 2023. I am doing these on the called 418 count Davos. Very loose weave, but I like it. So, yeah. I have all of them, either on cardstock or on the reprint. Again, I'm not doing these as much as I thought I would, so I don't know. I have to do this one while my daughter's gone. She and Eddie went and ran an errand. This is another Dot Dot Goose bag by with Lori Holt fabric. It houses my barn owl. Abby loves owls. This is the only one of the critters out of the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series that I purchased. I have no idea what this is on. Oh, there's my White Christmas needle minder. That's sort of like a tradition in our house. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's got Messy, Weeks Dye Works, and DMC. I'm doing it on a sort of greenish blue. I have no idea what it is. No idea. Maybe this will go to Allentown too. I finished all my WIP Go, Heifer, and Boss Me calls for the month. So I should probably start working on these now. What do you think? All right. What is this? This has a hoop in it. Oh, this is the Gather In 36 count Fox and Rabbit Saltbush that I started on February 26, 2023. That's how far I got with the flosses. Did I even start this? Oh wait, that's extra flosses. Here's my flossies. Combination of DMC and Weeks. I have not worked on this one in a while. Move my needle minder. This is a needle minder that was made for me by Steph, the New England Stitcher. Isn't it cute? So yeah, I haven't worked on that one in a while. In fact, when I started it, I had to rip out all the stars because I was off by half a stitch. This is in a bag I made. What do I have that in there? And this was a scissor fob that Carla from Cobweb Corner gave me at Steel City Stitchers in 2023. If you have not been to Steel City Stitchers, you should come. It's a wonderful, sorry for the rattling, it's a wonderful retreat. Truly, truly. Truly, truly. Truly. Truly scrumptious. Anybody remember what that's from? Checking your musical movie knowledge. Put that in the possible go-to bag. Alright, I haven't started that, I know that. Who's keeping count? Because I'm not. Haven't started that one either. This is Village of Hawk Run Hollow. I need to make a portfolio for this because this bag just is not big enough. Alright. This is a bag that I made, pumpkins. Probably one of my first attempts at vinyl. This is Village of Hawk Run Hollow. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to drag all that out. This is the first Hawk Run Hollow I started. Here's all the flosses. Again, I'm using the called for DMC instead of the NPI silks. And that's not the right bag. This is on I Have No Clue linen. 36 count, I believe. It looks like it's an old Weeks. No, it's not old because it has the orange thread on the side. So anyway, I'm about halfway done with the second block. Again, I love working on them. I just have to make time to do it. You know, there's only so much time in the day. And to be honest, I'm glad I'm doing this because I'm going to organize these on a WIP chart. And in fact, the tab is, you know, staring me in the face to type on. I'm going to do it electronically. There you go. This is in another Dot Dot Goose bag. It has the vintage ladies. I have a thread bed for that, but again, I don't use thread beds all that much. So it's a combination of color and cotton, which I must have pulled, Classic Colorworks, and DMC. This is Crochet to Go-Go, Christmas in the City. Christmas in the City? Yeah. Haven't touched this one in a while. Now, yes, this is a Christmas, but I like it. Now, I may, now that I'm looking at this, I may just do the top row and figure out how big it is and see if I can find like a frame at Hobby Lobby that I can, you know, mount it, do all the things, put magnets on the back, and switch it in and out. The nice thing about Crochet to Go-Go is you purchase the patterns from her Etsy store and she emails them to you and you get them with a watermark. I don't know if you can see it. So, yeah. I have this also in Markup XP, Markup RXP. So this is on a 36 count blue. I have no idea. So yeah, you know, in some ways I'm orderly, in other ways I'm not. Just saying. You know, now that I think about that, maybe that is what I'll do. I will do the top. Call it a day. All right, this is in another Black Cat X Stitchery bag that I bought. I love the cows and the pigs and the sheep and the rooster in the barn. And I wasn't raised on a farm, but you know what? There's something about a farm. There is something about a farm. People next door to us have chickens, and the rooster likes to, you know, say, "Yeah, I'm over here." So this is a combination of Gentle Arts and Weeks, and that's about it. And it is American Sampler by Plum Street. I am wondering, just going out on a limb, oh no, the words are not over one. So, there's that. There's the thread. This one has been buried for ages. You will see why. This, again, this is on I Have No Clue linen. Just a piece I found in my stash. That's as far as I got. I guess a small start is better than no start, right? She says as she has about 4 starts sitting here looking at her going, "Start me, start me." Oh, wait. This is in a Christmas bag I bought from Goose. Look, there's the thread bed. And there's thread in it. Surprise! This is a pattern I got on, I think it's, I don't remember. But anyway, it's a PDF. If I think about it, I'll put it down below. It's a Quaker. It's monochromatic. That's as far as I've gotten. So like if I have blue on my WIP Go chart, I can pull this out and work on it. Oh, it's Blackboard by Gentle Arts. Now like this one, I don't mind using the thread bed because it's all one color. So I know things won't get mixed up in my brain. It's not the Wishing Thorn. I can't remember what it is. I'll try to look. I'm running out of room here, people. All right, this is a bag that I made with Bonnie and Camille fabric. One of the first ones that I put my little do-jiggy tag on the top. I pulled out 2 fat quarters from my stash. This is Dasher and Dancer that was just put out by Hobby House. It is on Fiber on a Whim, Milk and Honey, 40 count, and I started it on December 1st, 2023. I am using Gentle Arts Mulberry and Gentle Arts Forest Glade. I started it at the Jingle Ball. Okay, now I had some mulberry, but I knew I was going to need more. So, and of course dye lots change. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins, and I put my mulberry and the new one on the same floss drop so that I could blend it in. That suggestion was given to me by Chris the Camping Stitcher. Smart suggestion. So this is Dasher and Dancer. The reason I'm doing the green is I'm going to make the tree green. Okay. Some people are doing it monochromatic. I toyed with the idea of either doing it all red, all blue, or all green. Milk and Honey. Yes, I said that. Now, again, the nice thing about this is it is monochromatic. I find letters easy to follow. This is as far as I got. Have I touched this since last Christmas? No. Do I love it? Yes. Why? Maybe because it's red. I don't know. But I will be keeping it. I should probably switch out something that I have in a Christmas bag and put this in the Christmas bag. Right? Right. This is in a Teresa Kogut bag that I made with her red, white, and blue fabric. This is a Plant of Rapid Growth by Heartstring Samplery. It is on Renaissance Linen by Color and Cotton, using a combination of Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and Color and Cotton. 36 count. Here's the picture. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love it. Whoops. Here are the threads. Now, I believe I switched something out, and I can't remember what it was, but it was because it wasn't showing up. I don't know if it was the gold or if it was one of the beiges. Beigey tans. Beigey tan. Yes. That is a term. This is as far as I've gotten. Am I pleased with it? Yes, I am. Very much so. It was the eagle's head that I changed out. What it was, I couldn't tell you. What it is, I couldn't tell you. But you can see I made a copy of the thread list, and then I went in. Isn't that amazing? Am I out of my mind? Is this matchy-matchy with the bag? Alright, this is in my coffee bag that I made because, you know, I guess I have two of these. Do I have two of these? I guess I have two of these. This is, oh yeah, I love this one because I love the blues and the browns. This is Prairie House Sampler by Brenda Gervais. I have a Starlight Stitch Co. This is on before I started writing things down linen. So here we go. Here's a really long one that I need to go back and cut down. Dublin Bay combination of, no, it's all Weeks, Gast, and Classic Colorworks. I'll tell you what, I think I forgot about this one. You know, I truly think I did. Does anybody else feel like they're lonely when you only have that little bit done? Am I using too much personification here and, you know, personifying my giving my stitches personality traits and thinking that they're sad? Yeah. Alright, this is in a bag I made. No idea what the fabric line was. Scooby-Doo. Here's the inside. Alright. And the threads are baking tin. These are all Classic Colorworks. I have my Floss Bling. I bought the DMC one because I liked it. I made that one. These are the Star Spangled Ornaments from It's So Emma. I had grand intentions, people. Grand intentions. Huge grand intentions. I got one done. Have I fully finished it? Nope. Did I get the second one started? Yes. I should take this to Allentown too and get some smalls done. That would be smart. This is being done on a Lugana. What color is it? Pebbles by Lori Holtz, 25 count. Put that on the Allentown pile. This is in a beautiful bag that was made for me by Tracy of OG Stitchery. We did a bag exchange. She's such a sweetheart. If you've never watched Tracy, you should. This is a Stitcher's Garden. She also made a thread bed. Isn't that beautiful? And she made the zipper pull. Tracy's a very talented lady. So it is color and cotton. I made the kitty cat floss bling. There's another hoop. Sorry for the rattling. Tiny Modernist. This is another one that I should just pull out and do. Should that one go on the Allentown pile? I'm going to put one of those in there just in case. Two more. This is in a Nantucket summer bag that I made, my first attempt at patchwork. I think it was one of my first attempts at patchwork. This is Rosehill Farm by Stacy Nash. This was an exclusive from the Homespun Needlework group on Facebook. If you're not a member, consider joining. All weeks. Now, this one was like I said, it was an exclusive, and it was kitted with, what was it kitted with? 36 count needle bling broom grass. And I, along with a bunch of other people, noticed that when we tried to use, I think it was the Oscar, the Weeks Dye Works Oscar, that it was ghosting. And so I decided to change it, and I don't remember what I changed it to. It's a I think it's a Be Stitch Me Grog, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, so I changed it. There you go. That's as far as I got. I should take that with me and work on the alphabet. If I keep saying that, I'm going to have way too many projects and I'm going to feel overwhelmed, and then I won't do anything, because that's what I do. Last but not least, I think I'm missing something. No, I already showed you that. Oh, I didn't start it yet. That's why. So those are all my WIPs. Those are all my WIPs. No, they're not. Because there's some on the table. See, I told you I was missing some. Alright, this is Home Sweet Home by With Thy Needle and Thread. 36 count Be Stitch Me Hot Cocoa. And, whoops, I just tore it. In another pumpkin bag. Using the called for whatevers, with some beautiful floss drops made by my friend Kara from Pink Daisy Stitch. She's a sweetheart. This is as far as I've gotten. I think I'm a FOMO victim. You think? Yes. Alright, I think that's it. As she tries to put things back in the bag. Alright, so all of these are keepers. Definite keepers. except I don't know what to do with Type of Christmas and Simple Life. I hate to give them up, but if they're not tripping my trigger, so to speak, what should I do with them? Because I also have a couple of more start-alongs that I have decided to do with friends. One of them is, and I can't find it because it's buried now. One of them is Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird. I'm doing that with a friend of mine in Rhode Island. Her name is Deborah. And so we're going to break that one up into chunks and work on it. I don't know, like over what time period. I know that's been a sal before. I'm not going to make it a really big, if you want to do it, that would be great. I can share the breakdown with you. But yeah. Another friend showed this one. Jane from the Boss Stitcher said she wanted to work on this one. This is Faith of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. So I kitted up with Milk and Tea Color and Cotton 36 count in a bag that I made. I even made a thread bed. So this is what it looks like. And here's my threads. Pulled my own. And here's the fabric. I don't know. So I have those to work on. See, Jane, it even says Stitching with Jane from the Boss Stitchers. I also have my Fish and Ships kitted with my DMC Floche on the 36 count Grace Notes Wind Song. I'll show you in a minute. Laura, the Stitching by the Shore, Laura is doing that. This is a PDF, so I do plan on loading it into Markup RXP. And what other type of fabric do you use but snowmen for your bag? This was a bag I bought from Dot Dot Goose. So, it's blue and off-white, or blue and tan, so why not? Pause it. Hang on. My grandson needs me. Alright, I'm back. Yes. The last one I kitted up because Christine from Hollis Hands was putting this out there as a stitch to do from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Yeah, that didn't happen. Liberty's welcome. It's charted with NPIs and DMCs. Now I went because a local shop down near Baltimore was having a sale on NPIs, so I did a thing. So I have a piece, and I'm also doing it on number 12 Stitch Co. Toasted Mallow 40 count. I mean, that's how far I've gotten. I haven't even started it yet. Daddy, turn that down, please, for a minute. And finally, I have this is a portfolio I bought from a gal on Stash Unloading. It's very nice, very nicely made. So I had purchased this piece of Color and Cotton Flamenco 40 count from someone on Stash Unloading. Alright, so you know me in red, right? And so I decided to do this, but I'm doing it in reverse. And I wanted to give Vicky Clayton Silks a try, so I bought 2 white. Haven't started it yet. Now, that means I also have, I thought I had, Teresa Kogut's new, maybe I do. I have stuff kitted that isn't even in this basket. I should take these out and put them in a different place. I know I have the fall Quaker kitted. I think I have Teresa Kogut's new 2-year mystery in her Patreon kitted. It's nuts. So I think, as I said before, taking a cue from Helen D, I should go back in and unkit what I haven't started and just put the threads back into rotation, back into use. I also have the threads pulled and ready, well, almost all the threads pulled and ready for my Heaven and Earth design. Joann's was having an online only sale the other day that, if you bought more than whatever, 10 I think it was, you got a certain price break, and then if you spent this much money you got free shipping, which I did both. So I am waiting for those. So I can finish thread dropping the threads for my Heaven and Earth designs. I do want to start that. So yeah, that's where I am. Plus on top of that, I have quilts that I want to accomplish. So believe it or not, I think I'm going to have to, here's the plan. See, I told you I was going to come back to it. I am thinking that I am going to have to learn to dedicate a day or time. You know what I mean? Like I said, Mirror Monday or Flag Friday. Flag Friday would be good because then it could be any of my Patriotic. That's a good idea. So I don't know. Because, and here we go back to the fact, are things like the Heiferboard Emboss Me and WIP Go restrictive? And is doing all 3 restrictive? I don't know. Probably for me. But I'm only doing 3 days. Or 3 times. I'm stitching on them 3 times. If I stitch more, that's up to me. So, yeah, because I do want to try and make some project bags and perhaps open an Etsy store. I've been encouraged to do that. So, I need to find time for that as well. So have like a day where that's what I do, is just work on bags and things that I enjoy making. Sometimes I do make floss bling. So like yesterday I worked on can you see it? I worked on these. So yeah. What did I say I was going to put down below? Oh, the name of the Quaker, the blue Quaker, Bluebird Quaker thing. I will try and do that. So, that all being said, I'm an hour and 25 minutes into this. If I decide to UFO those couple of things, I will let you know on a regular Flosstube. There we go. All right. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were able to get some stitching done while I did this. Maybe one of these days I'll do a kit parade. Who knows? But what's the point of that if I'm going to take them all apart? Right? Right. All right. Take care of yourself. Remember to stitch what you love and love what you stitch, and keep your stitches crossed. Bye.